Okay, so I put out a new short recently, and I was exposing the hypocrisy of individuals who think it's okay for the government to have their rules and all these things that basically violate the rights of individuals because it benefits them. So for the short, what I did is I said, well, here's the example of the vaccine. There were people who questioned the government, said, why are you forcing us to get the vaccine? Why are you forcing us to wear masks? Why are you doing these things? And there's all kinds of reasons that they had, but anybody who questioned it, anybody, even if they sat there and said, well, why do I mean, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm swimming in a lake in the middle of, why do I have to wear a mask? People had honest, simple questions, and those people were chastised by other people. Okay? And they were chastised by other people because it benefited those people. They were afraid, and that rule made them feel better. It benefited them. Okay? It benefited their concerns. It put them more at ease. But it violated other people's rights, especially in how forceful it was done and how bad it was done. And people can argue whether it was necessary for public interest or not, but the fact that even just questioning it, you were deemed un-American, when that is absolutely the most American thing you do, is questioning. It is a civic duty, okay? This is absolutely just writing on the wall. You cannot take it away. This is right there as part of the foundation of our country. We have a civic duty to question everything the government does. Everything. To scrutinize it to death. We are their bosses, and it is our job to go through them with a fine-tooth comb to figure out how they're screwing up. But when it benefits you, when their controls and their things benefit you, oh, we stand up against those people who are against the government controlling us. But then we have things, and I've been talking about plumbers and all the rest of those stuff because I'm getting in on the trades, guys. Because there's a bunch of things that don't make sense. And it's the absolute opposite. These people who would stand there and scream about, you have to fight for the individual rights, individual liberties. Why aren't you doing it? These are guys who are standing up and saying, the code says do this. How dare you question the code? How dare you question science? How dare you? So all of that code that was written by scientists who profited from those vaccines. Oh, all that code that was written by the manufacturers of the plumbing shit that profits them. Oh, that's okay. Oh, but that's right. You benefit because you get paid to do the installations. You benefit because every time they sabotage people's water, you get to go be the guy who fixes and repairs it. So you support that control over people. So you defend those things. That was the essence of that video. It was lost in a bunch of different things with people, and that's okay because people get focused on different things. And maybe I'm just not that great at it, providing this much detail in a 60-second video. But what this boils down to is more of a question about why isn't the government doing its job? It's not just the vaccine. It's not just plumbing, people. It's more so on the line of the legal case of Citizens United. Citizens United was a case saying that companies had rights and so forth, and that they could do all these things to overtake all the small businesses and what they could do. Well, the thing is that we the people in our founding documents wrote right there, we were giving Congress the power. What? To control corporations, to monitor, regulate the economy. Why? Because we are in control of Congress and everybody has to follow the law. And in order to protect the rights of the individual, we have the United States. The mobs, the popular vote, that's done at the state level, the smaller level. You can do mobs and get people to want to do those things, but at the United States level, its primary duty is to protect the rights of the individual. I don't care if you sit there and say gay is the worst thing in the world. You have a right to believe that, okay? I'm going to think you're stupid. A whole bunch of other people will think you're stupid, but there's going to be people who think that's true, okay? And they have a right to believe that, and they are protected. That minority is protected. The right of the small thoughts, the beliefs, the rights of the Christian to believe in God, the rights of the anti-Christian to believe that religion is evil, okay? They have the right to believe those things, but you don't control each other, okay? Well, that's the United States job, and it's our job to make sure that Congress is doing that job, and they're not. They're not. And they really aren't doing it when it comes to the economy. That has, for a long time, gone way out of check. It has gone way out of control. I'm not going to tell you that Citizens United should be overturned. I'm not. I'm going to say it was Congress's job to deal with it. I'm going to say that yes, okay, you have a right to be a mob, to be a state. You have a right to be a large corporation, a mob of people. When you do such a thing as an IP, a initial public offering, an IPO, when you take your company and you go public and you say, okay, I'm going to trade on the stock market, all that good stuff, what you're doing is you're switching from a situation where you are a small business, you are a sole proprietor type business, you are a tiny individual company. You are the individual who needs to be protected from a mob of people who own a company, okay, and have a collective worth that can focus those monies to go back to the government and control the government. No, 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 no. The rights of the individual need to be protected. So, should we have companies that do it? Well, that goes against Citizens United. They're allowed to do that. They have a right to do that. Yeah, you know what? And I have a right to actually say the N-word. Not going to do it. Don't like it. But I have a right to do it. Legally, I have a right to do it. Okay? Granted, all kinds of social people want to beat you up for it. But if somebody's going to do it, well, technically they have a right. And if they're going to stand out in public and do it all in the legally constitutional right ways, you can't stop them. You can't. They have a right to do it. And they have a right to that free speech. And they have a right to wear whatever clothes they want. But if they want to go work for McDonald's, they're signing a contract that says they're going to wear that uniform. And so they waive that right for that contract. And if you want to do business in a state, you sign a contract. And you waive the right to your individual liberty on that. And you say, you know what, I will not discriminate against people for whatever reason. Okay? I will not discriminate against people based on sex and religious beliefs and all these different things. I won't do that. Okay? There's the tricky loophole of all I got to do is stay silent and say, I'm just reserving the right to just not want you here. Why? I just don't want you here. Why? Because I don't. Because you're making a disturbance that I don't like, and it bothers me. I reserve the right to refuse service to anybody. And you're an anybody, so that's why. Well, you're just doing it because of the fact that you're anybody, and I'm just too stressed and too tired to deal with you. Go. I don't care. Somebody else can come through with your exact situation as long as they're not the big jerk that you apparently are. Get the hell out of here. They have that loophole, okay? Well, here's the thing. Why, when you, as a corporation, and incorporate in a state or incorporate in the United States, you sign an S-4, get on the tax thing, do all that good stuff with the United States, you have to incorporate your business in order to perform business as a business. Yes, yes, yes. You're signing a contract with the United States. And part of signing that contract with the United States is that you're going to abide by Congress's laws on how to operate in certain ways that we're going to control. And one of those could be, guess what? If you become a company that is an initial public offering, or that would be just one of many reasons that we would classify that as a large company. Okay, if you are considered a large company is defined as anybody who has performed an initial public offering and is on the stock market, anybody who has more than, say, 300 employees, okay, anybody who has more than XYZ, okay, anybody who qualifies as a large company, guess what? You lose your right, or you relinquish your right. You're going to wear our uniform. You are not going to donate money to congressmen. You cannot do this, that, and the other. But companies, we're supposed to be able to, yeah, and we're here to protect the rights of the little guy, not you. Not you. Because you and your buddies work together. Okay? When you have a ton of little companies, when you have competition, you have capitalism. We don't have capitalism for the plumbing people, for water heaters. They haven't changed in 100 years. We don't have capitalism in dishwashers, washing machines, appliances, homes. There has been no astronomically huge inventive thing that has been done. Okay, there are minor examples, okay, like piping for things. They came out with PEX, but it's been 25 years since even PEX came out. There has been no real meaningful thing because competition can't happen. Competition can't happen because those guys block down any little person trying to do it. And I said before, one of the main ways they did it was by moving all the manufacturing out of the country. Believe it or not, there are manufacturing companies that sit there. Think about a car company. Car company, you see the big plant where they put the cars together. Okay, great. But did you know there's actually a million other plants that create the parts that go to that assembly line? And those plants don't dedicate themselves just to building a car. They dedicate themselves to building one part and building a stock of it, and then reconfiguring, building a different thing, and then reconfigure and building a different thing. There are a lot of places like that, and none of them exist here in America anymore. They moved them out. The large corporations did it because it gives them that control over the small businesses. It gives them that control over Congress. And the businesses are not to have control over Congress. We gave Congress the power to control them. That's the power struggle. And right now, it's not going on. So I'm going to keep doing what I do, which is basically exposing all of the people who claim that they stand for individual liberties, but in fact only do that until it benefits them. Okay, so when you make money by installing all that fake plumbing shit, I'm going to call you out. And sure, I'll go to HVAC and say, you know what? Why is this so complicated? Why are you charging $8,000 to install a frickin' furnace? Okay, you have an air conditioning coil that you charge $1,000 for sitting in your garage, and it's no different than the $158 condenser sitting in the front of a car. 150 bucks. Why? And why isn't it just some simple plug and play? Why isn't it easier like this? Because they're not competing, because the big corporations are making it so you can't compete. They are getting it so that the DIYer can't even come in and compete. You can't even do it yourself. You have to rely on them. You have to give them your money. So, I'm going to try to keep this one short. I hope that's been a little bit of an explanation on what's been going on. Check back for more videos and we'll see what I come up with next.